all seriously, I said, which was a sign that I definitely had too many beers. That night, I slept in my old room, which my mother has partly converted into a home office. There were wall charts showing availability and training schedules for teachers under her administration, and, between them, pictures drawn by kids from her school, one of which I recognized as mine, your classic stick-legged, sausage-bodied horse ridden by an equally deformed figure in a cowboy hat. When I looked closer, I saw that either someone had shot an arrow into its head, or the horse had a horn growing from its brow. Cowboys and unicorns, I thought, as the beer carried me away to sleep. No wonder my father worries about me. I woke up earlier than I expected the next morning and took myself out for a run. The sun hadn't risen yet, but the diligent professionals of Mannheim's most boring suburb were already up and climbing into their Mercedes and BMWs to ensure that they were waiting at their desks when the rest of the office arrived. Some of them had thermal travel mugs containing the morning's second cup of coffee so they could finish it on the move. A Mercedes C-Class went past me with a forgotten mug still on the roof, the smell of coffee mingling with the exhaust. I watched with amazement as the mug stayed on as the car took a hard left. Perhaps it was magnetized. I ran on, wondering whether the mug would make it all the way to the office, coffee still in it, to provide a refreshing beverage for the startled driver when they got out. At the end of my parents' street is the wildlife park, which I've been using as a running circuit since I was 13. It's a mere 3 kilometers, a good distance if you're just looking for something to wake you up before breakfast. I was halfway around when I got a call on my mobile. It was the boss. It couldn't be good news for her to be up this early. "Tobias," she said, "where are you?" "I'm in Mannheim," I said, "on leave." "Not anymore," she said. "We have a possible infraction in Trier. Get over there and check it out. We should have an information package waiting for you when you get there." "What kind of infraction?" I said. "A suspicious death," said the director, "with unusual biological characteristics." "My favorite." "I thought you'd be pleased," she said. "Jump to it." "Yes, boss," I said, but I finished my run and had breakfast with my family first. Once I'd given up my dreams of being an astronaut at age 7, a professional footballer at age 9, and, in a final crushing of those dreams, a rock musician at the age of 14, I decided to be a policeman, like my father before me. I joined the Bundeskriminalamt rather than the Polizei Baden-Württemberg, so Papa wouldn't be able to order me about at work. Just so we're clear, he doesn't order me about at home. Mama does that to both of us. I ended up in the Abteilung KDA because I didn't talk myself out of it fast enough, and because the director has a vile sense of humor. I ended up learning magic because you can't trust the British to keep an agreement over the long term. Mama looked up from her breakfast and took the news that my visit was being cut short with a shrug. She said she hoped that I'd be able to come back again when the job was done. I know he claims to have been scrupulous about returning home on time, but she must have done this with my father at least a couple of times. It's the nature of the job. Despite the esoteric nature of my work, I spend most of my time in my car. Recently, I managed, through some impressive paperwork, to get assigned a silver Golf 6 GTI with assorted police modifications. It's dull, but at least it's comfortable and reliable. Unsurprisingly, my father approves. Once I'd waved my parents off to their respective jobs, I checked I had enough changes of clothes in my overnight bag, that my scene of crime kit was fully stocked, and that the batteries in the Geiger counter were charged. Then I strapped on my shoulder holster, fetched my pistol from the family gun safe, made sure that my thermal mug of coffee was not still sitting on the roof of my car, and pulled out of my parents' drive. Trier is not famous as a policing hotspot, having been voted Germany's quaintest town 5 years in a row in the poll of popular destinations conducted by the Deutsche Zentrale für Tourismus. It has perhaps 2 murders a year, and its greatest public order challenge is the annual wine fair. By the time the Golf and I rolled into the Mosel Valley and headed south, the director had texted me the name of my police liaison in Trier. I'd have suspected a prank, only the director doesn't have that kind of sense of humor. My liaison's name was Vanessa Sommer. It might have been a coincidence, but someone I just knew somewhere was enjoying a laugh at my expense. The Kriminalpolizei in Trier were located in an ugly office block right by the train station. Presumably, this was so the detective